It might be a little early to be making resolutions for next year, but rising track star Tayleb Willis has already made his. The 21-year-old is hell-bent on breaking Kyle Vander-Kuyp's long-standing national hurdles record, and in a twist, Willis has recruited the man himself to achieve his goal. Tony Jones spoke to him.
Retired sporting stars cherish whichever of their records still stand.
It's a hard record to break, so I'm not going to say it's an easy one.
Kyle Vander-Kuyp's national record for the 110-metre hurdles hasn't been broken in 29 years.
It's been funny over the 20-odd years. People have said, "Do you still hold the Australian record?" I go, yeah, I still got it. So I won't be able to say that when it's broken.
But Vander-Kuyp is now coaching this rising star to better his mark of 13.29.
Kyle said if I break it, he has to be there to watch it. But yeah, I think he even said he's had it for long enough. It's time for someone to write their own history and try and up at that time.
Tayleb Willis was a member of our Olympic team in Paris, and while he didn't make the final, he did do enough to suggest he'll be a force by the time the LA Games roll around. Paris certainly gave him the Olympic bug.
It still hasn't actually sunk in yet. I've been back for like 2 months and I think about it every day, so yeah, that's kind of what gets me going.
As a youngster, Tayleb, who's of West African heritage, tried a variety of sports including ballet, gymnastics and swimming. As a 15-year-old budding footballer, he was in Hawthorn's academy. AFL versus athletics. It was line ball.
When I found hurdles, it just clicked and I knew that was what I wanted to do.
And there's no better man to have in his corner than Vander-Kuyp.
Vander-Kuyp's coming through strongly now. Colin goes over the last. Look at the time.
His CV includes 2 Olympics. He made the final at the 96 Games in Atlanta. There's also 4 World Championships and 4 Commonwealth Games. Adopted by white parents at 5 weeks old, Kyle was always fiercely proud of his Indigenous roots, which sometimes, quite sadly, worked against him.
That little bit harder to get people to notice you. It's disappointing, but I'm there.
Ironically, these hurdles are the same that Kyle jumped over at the 2006 Com Games in Melbourne. If Tayleb can replicate the success of his mentor-cum-coach, he's well on track to realising his dream.
He said I knew that he's got the quality, so I just reached out to him about 18 months ago and he took me on board, and now we're working very closely together, about 15 milliseconds off his record, so that's definitely the goal next year.
Yeah, breaking my record, I'm happy with it. I want someone to break it. It's kind of sweet if you're actually helping someone to try and do it.
In between training, Willis indulges in his other passion, social media. His TikTok account alone has more than 600,000 followers.
Let me talk to him.
Do we say an influencer?
You can say influencer, definitely, but I like to be called as an athlete that likes to brand himself on social media as well, instead of an influencer that does track.
The one TikTok post Tayleb Willis is desperate to share is the day he breaks that record. And with the man who holds it now guiding him, it's a hurdle he's destined to overcome. Tony Jones, 9 News.